Out some video options for Virtual DJ the trial, just to get you set up and show you how everything works. So the first thing we do is when we open it up, we see this. When you go to the configuration button at the top right hand corner of the screen and you press that, and then you'll have a bar pop up with a number of different options. So for the sound setup, it really depends what you have set up at home. If you have a really simple thing, just a couple of speakers that you can plug in and plug out of the front of your computer, then just use the desktop 4.1 thing, because that's the standard sound card that's built in. If you have a laptop with a sound card by USB, which is used a lot by mobile people and who want to get good sound everywhere and who want to hook up their laptops to as many things as they can, then use that obviously. And then if you have a laptop with a number of different cables to route around, then you should look into that more deeply. But for the sake of this simple thing, you can or click simple or just click desktop. I prefer desktop because it gives me a simple setup for speakers and headphones, but that's your own personal preference. Now for the skins, this pretty much shows you how what everything looks like when you're playing stuff. So this is the standard thing that I'm going to be working with for the rest of the tutorial. There is one point where I'm going to show you how you can mix with more complicated systems. But we'll show you that later. So let me just see if I can get you a quick review of all the things you can get. So yeah, keep in mind that this is the exact copy of this side. So left and right are just exactly the same, but they're just on separate sides, so it looks more like an actual mixer and two turntables. So I'm just gonna focus on the left hand part right here. So this is the most basic for everything. This is the second, and it gives you a bit more room to look for your tracks while you're mixing. The third gives you even more room. And this, well, it all looks like one another basically. It's more or less the same, but the real difference comes with the different amount of decks here. Just got a small error there, nothing to worry about. So in this case we have 4 turntables instead of 2, and we also have 4 channels instead of 2. It looks really complicated, it's not, it's really easy. It's the exact same as this, but then as you can see here, you have 2 faders and 2 mixers, and here you have 4 faders and 4 mixers. So they just try to make it all look handsome and stuff. Then our last one is for 6. This is, I would think, a bit more into the advanced options, because you need to know how to set everything up and not make the mistake of accidentally playing a deck on the track that you don't even want there and stuff, because the system, like the way it works is A is this side and then B is the right side. So what you do is, say I have a song here, or it doesn't matter, because when this is on A, this deck represents this one, and when this one is on B, this represents that one. So if I want to get more options for a deck which is playing another song, you press the A or B button there. If I close that, I'm not going to do that now, but the point is you press A or B there and it'll jump from that track on there to this track on there. So that's a big help, and it helps a lot of people play around with many different songs playing through one another, and that's essentially creating your own personal mix. But at the same time, you could do the same thing with 6 or 10 decks with 2 decks. It just all depends on how you organize your stuff and what your personal style is, because a DJ can be just as good with 2 decks as with 20 decks, because it really doesn't matter. So after the skins, we have the mappers. This is all quite unimportant. This just shows you what everything does, and as you'll get to know the system, you'll know what all these buttons mean. So that's really easy. But the most important thing is to remember is that if the PFL is highlighted in blue on this side or in red on that side, that means if you press the space bar, the song that will be highlighted in blue or red, because there can only be one at a time highlighted, it'll play automatically. But that's the main thing to remember, so you can play and switch over from music to music more quickly. Video options. Well, we're only gonna focus on the audio part of Virtual DJ. It also has a video mixer, and you can also use it to scratch a bit. Even though this isn't good, you can still get the hang of it and see how it all works. But we're only gonna do audio, so there's no real reason why you should use video options. General options about the interface. So the crossfader, that is this one in the middle, that's your main mixer. That shows you how to do everything. Yeah, in typical, the most important thing to do is your equalizer, because that's how the sound will come through in your headphones and through the speakers. Obviously you want the best sound quality you could ever have in your headphones, because you need to know when a kick is coming and when it's not. So that's really important. Then secondly, the jog mode. That's another big thing. CD, what that means is when you drag this wheel around, it'll slow down the music a bit, and when you drag it forward, it'll speed up. Same here. And when you put it on vinyl, if you just click it, in CD, it won't do anything. I think it'll slow it down a bit so you can adjust the beat and synchronize with it. But if you do it in vinyl, it'll just stop. Even if you drag it back, the song will drag back. I generally use this because Virtual DJ isn't a good program where you can do everything manually, so I always use the sync button, which is a button that can do everything for you in one step and just lets you focus on all the extras and all the goodies of the program. Yeah, and that's the only reason I actually use that, is because this is on a program and it's really inaccurate trying to do it with pitch bending. Internet, well, you don't need to do anything there because we're not connected to the internet with Virtual DJ. Unless you have an iPhone or iPad that you want to connect to the program, it's not really important, and I don't know how to do this because I've never connected my phone or my iPad to one of these things. Codecs. These are the sound types that it can play. So if you have a really big thing that you're sure you want to play and you want to make sure nothing can go wrong, your last, like, the double check to do is just to see if the file type is one of these. Mostly it'll be MP3 or WAV or WMV, but it can pretty much play all the general international things. And this you all don't have to know unless you have a sound card, and I think that if you do have a sound card, you should look up how to use that along with Virtual DJ, because that's different for every individual hardware piece. So this was a quick tutorial on what all the options are and how you can set everything up. Yeah.